can do that again, Hannah.
Yeah. Hi, I'm one of the export vets working for Evelyn Jones, and I'm based in the northwest of England.
Thank you, Hannah. And we have Sarah. Hello. Sarah is going to be helping us out with the presentation and everything. So thank you. Thank you everyone for joining. We're going to be running a short presentation, and we'll be discussing about the opportunities for us here at Evelyn Jones. And then at the end, if anyone has any questions, we will be giving you the option to raise your hand, and you can unmute yourself and we can have a conversation. If in the meantime there's anything that you would like to ask us, please feel free to use the chat bar. If I can during the presentation, I will be answering. If not, you can put yourselves off mute at the end and we can discuss then. So as I said, I'm Ioana. I'm Evelyn Jones' Business Development Manager, and tonight we will be discussing about the opportunities to work as official veterinarian for Evelyn Jones, which is Europe's largest provider of official controls, private provider in the meat industry. I'll let Charles give a short introduction. Thank you.
Thanks, Ioana. Yeah, Ioana is also, as our business development manager, she's responsible for acquiring all of our customers, and we're fortunate to work with some of the biggest global customers in the world, which is fantastic. She's also a veterinarian and a specialist export vet. She helps advise DEFRA, the Department of Environment and Rural Affairs in the UK, who have regulatory authority over exports as well. So if there's something that Ioana doesn't know about exports, it's not really worth knowing. So it's brilliant to have her on with us tonight. So Sarah, can I have the next slide, please? Cool. So Evelyn Jones, as Ioana said, is the largest private provider of public health veterinary services in the UK. And most of our veterinarians work in official controls delivering in abattoirs, export inspection services, and portal inspection services. The British government, through the FSA, has appointed us as the sole provider of official controls. So we have meat inspectors and official veterinarians in every abattoir in England and Wales. And we've worked with the government and the Food Standards Agency for over 20 years now. The business has been established for over 25 years, so we've got a real track record in the industry. And following Brexit, we did a lot of exports before Brexit to third countries, including China and South America. But following Brexit, we've positioned ourselves as the largest provider of export health certificates in the UK. So our customers include all of the biggest food distributors and supermarket groups in the country. So at the top of the scale, we've got all the big international brands, and we go right the way down to local exporters, small village sort of local ice cream manufacturers and exporters and cheese exporters, etc. So we cover the whole range. So
without bragging, I'll do an addition here. Actually, our top customer is the third largest supermarket in the world, and we work with the top 3 largest supermarkets in UK, and also with the largest food and beverage producer in the world, where their exports are in UK as well. Sorry.
No, great, thank you. So the purpose of Evelyn Jones, why we exist, we're here to ensure that food is safe to eat and producers comply with animal health and welfare standards. So the whole inspection part of this is about making sure food is safe to eat, promoting British food, and enabling consumers around the world to enjoy it, making sure that they are aware that the highest levels of animal welfare have been observed in the meat that they're consuming, and that the quality is high and that it's not going to make them ill. So we employ more than 800 qualified professionals who come from over 25 countries around the world. I welcomed our first Ghanaian meat inspector into the business this morning, which was fantastic. But on the call, we've got Ioana's from Romania, Hannah's from good old England, and Sarah is joining us from Spain this evening. We have around 450 veterinarians and 250 meat inspectors working within the UK abattoirs, and our export division is made up of currently around 60 official veterinarians and 25 certifying support officers, CSOs. And we working with exporters of products of animal origin. So anything from legs of lamb and what have you, down to cheese and Nespresso coffee capsules. And I think there's a fair few Kit Kats in there as well. We support our people in the field, our vets, through a field management structure, technical support through the field as well. And then we've got our central office, which you can see in the picture there, which has about 50 people who look after you. So that's our finance department to make sure your expenses are paid, our payroll department to make sure your salaries are paid, our IT department to make sure you're always online and able to do your job, because we're very tech enabled here. We've got our well-being department, our learning and development department in there, our fleet department giving you your cars. So a big central support infrastructure that looks after all of our people around the country. Okay, next one please, Sarah. Oh, that's not me. So a little bit about my ambitions. I've been in Evelyn Jones for just over a year now, and it's a real privilege to lead such a great group of people. So my ambitions, very briefly, is basically simple. I want to recruit the best vets in the world looking to progress their career within veterinary public health. I want to provide them opportunities to learn working alongside fantastic vets, technical experts, but also learn from working within the environment of some of the world's biggest companies, working alongside government and government officials in abattoirs, and learning how things work within UK public health and playing a key part in that. I want to then give people variety and opportunities in their career, whether you want to go into management, veterinary management, managing and running teams of people, or whether you want to just progress to be the absolute very best that you can be as a veterinarian. I want to provide people with variety of roles. So people that want to do different things, maybe go out and work in farms. That's one of my big aspirations. Working on providing training and consultancy, working across import and exports, or doing some work within abattoirs. That's my idea of what I want to do for people, giving people opportunities to grow and develop, to have a long-term successful and rewarding career with us. And then reward people based on their behaviors, their ability and their values, making sure that your values and your behaviors align with what our corporate vision is. And I think that's what I want to do here, and that's the journey that we're on. And I think we'll touch on that when we talk about some of the benefits that we have about working with us. So I think that's enough from me. Thank you very much for listening. I'll be around for questions at the end, and I'll hand over to Joanna.
Thank you. It is a journey, and there are so many opportunities, and I think one of the reasons why I'm here talking to you tonight is because I'm one of the examples that there is career progression in Evelyn Jones, and if you have the skills and you have the will, you can progress. I started 4 years ago working as a meat hygiene inspector on the line in abattoirs, carrying out official controls. And from working as a meat hygiene inspector, I moved into working as an official veterinarian, working as an exporting vet, area resource manager, training as a portal vet, area veterinary manager, then moving now to business development and exports. So that's like 7 different roles. In the meantime, I also enjoy the easy pet care because we do a bit of community clinic work as well with pets. So 8 different roles within the company. There are plenty of opportunities. And Charles is helping us definitely develop these opportunities, and there are many more to come. We're also providing consultancy currently. We're looking into providing training as well. We're providing consultancy actually to local authorities on exports, which is something incredible to be recognized from the private sector to go to give training to the government. But yes, sorry, I'll stick to the slide and to the script. In terms of working with us, the opportunities are everywhere across the UK, from Scotland down to Wales. If you're not registered currently with the Royal College, we have plenty of experience with that, and we can help you with guidance throughout the process. And one of the benefits of working with Evelyn Jones, and many thanks to Charles for bringing this change, is that Evelyn Jones pays the Royal College fees. What you'll need when you join us is to have your degree from one of the accredited universities. If you are coming from overseas, the requirement currently is for IELTS 11.7, written, spoken, and understanding. This is one of the issues that we're currently working on, because up until January 1st, we were joining from overseas, myself including, just with our accredited university degree. But because of Brexit and the changes, now the requirement is that we hold a level 7 degree, and it's the minimum of 7 in all the areas. So although that is a bit more difficult, it's not impossible, and we are supporting our new colleagues with also English preparations for the IELTS exam. The full driving license is a must, not necessarily a must, because we wouldn't want to have you if you're not holding a driving license. But the job as a vet, as you well know, it requires traveling in between multiple customers. We do have a colleague that joined us and took her exam this month, I think, for the driver's license, and passed it successfully. But in the meantime, she had to use the bus, and well, that's not the easiest when you're working in between remote areas, which are beautiful but remote. And you will need to complete an online OV course specifically for the PX panel, and the course is held on Improve International, and it's fully subsidized by the government. Currently, we offer our support with the invigilation of the final exam and guidance throughout it. It's not the most difficult exam, but it's not the easiest at the same time. So these would be the requirements to join us. After you join the company, our excellent training, learning and development department that has been built up in the past months, and again, thank you, Charles, for the support on that. They provide a full induction, and this induction covers everything that you would need to know about working with us. If you're joining from overseas, you'll get a full induction on life in UK. We provide constant, should I say 24/7? We are there available for our new colleagues as well, with all sorts of information when you're joining in the company. We also provide a full technical support and practical training. We have a dedicated support delivery system. All our line managers are prepared to provide the technical expertise that you would need. We have a wonderful well-being team, and they provide full support and continued development through our learning and development team. We have our online platform where you can access different in-house trainings. These have their own CPD points. We also hold our own in-house CPDs on different matters. We share articles that count up to your points at the end of the year, and we keep track of them, which is absolutely brilliant. Like I was saying before, there are amazing career progression opportunities through management pathways and across different sectors of our business. We range from working with the private sector, with the Food Standard Agency, with working with private companies, providing technical guidance, consultancy, and we're expanding massively now. So plenty of opportunities there. In terms of employment opportunities as a vet, we have the FSA, the Food Standard Agency contract. And if you work as an official veterinarian on the FSA contract, you are responsible for ante-mortem inspection of the animals when they arrive in the abattoir. You carry out welfare checks of the animals, hygiene conditions of the process in the abattoir, carry out checks of the animal byproducts, and you supervise the meat hygiene inspectors. You supervise them, and you provide them the technical support and the guidance that they need. If you're working for us as an official veterinarian on an export contract with one of our private customers, you are responsible for completion of the export health certificates, inspecting the vehicles, the goods, integrity of the packaging and the labeling. Our vets work with CSOs as well, so the physical checks, depending on the type of site where you are working, you might have a certifying support officer carrying out the physical checks for yourself. the certifying support officer works on your behalf and will provide this information to you once he's carried out the checks. Photographic evidence can be taken by the vet if the vet is working on his own. If it's a site that works in parallel with a CSO, then it's the CSO taking the photographic evidence throughout the exporting process. The vet sends the appropriate documentation in the agreed timescales. Because we work on different types of contracts, we have exports going to third countries. Charles mentioned earlier KitKat. KitKat goes to Jamaica, and it's the only country that requires certification. Apart from Jamaica, KitKat falls under confectionery and it doesn't need certification. But we can send, for example, to Australia or New Zealand milk. And the timescales for sending a health certificate to Australia and New Zealand is quite long, whereas the timescales of sending the same milk to Northern Ireland is completely different. So the appropriate documentation, and you need to be well aware of the process and understand the final destination and the health certificates that you're using. And most importantly, building a relationship with all the stakeholders. We're working very closely with our customers, with the exporter. We're providing our support to the hauliers. We're working closely with the logistics teams in the depots, because it's a system. And if one of the links in this system fails, whether it's the haulier or the depot or the exporter fails to provide the information, or else we fail to provide the documents on time, then an entire consignment worth at sometimes tens of thousands of pounds, you might have that the product expires, because we're moving sometimes short shelf products like sushi that has 2-3 days of shelf life, or it might end up that it doesn't reach the vessel on time and it misses the vessel and cannot be moved to Australia, for example, and then the container is destroyed. So we work really close with our stakeholders. We work to understand their process, and we always explain to them what our process is, because without them understanding what the job of an official veterinarian does, it's not as much shown in the media as you would see a practice vet, a farm vet, a practice nurse. We're not as fashionable, but the job is absolutely fantastic. It's working with legislation, constantly learning, constantly developing. And this is what I'm working on, and bringing it to the public, to the media, bringing attention on how important we are, and actually bringing more understanding to the role of the official veterinarians. And you will hear from Hannah how interesting the job is. And I think that the next slide is yours, Hannah, if I'm not mistaken. The benefits of working for us, and then we'll swap to you. An excellent salary. The one good thing about the current environment is that the salaries are absolutely amazing, and they're very attractive, to say the least. You get a company car, which are all brand new because we have just changed our fleet. The Royal College is paid. We get full well-being assistance from an absolutely fantastic team that is always there to help with the appropriate guidance and to support. We cover personal accident insurance. The perk box, I love the perk box, where we get, we also use it for reward. We use it for recognition as well as rewards. I love my tiny coffee once per month and watching a movie. Career progression, which I think that I've explained quite well, that there's plenty of opportunities. Values-driven reward and recognition. Apart from the perk box, we also have a new reward and recognition system. Work with global big brands, as I said, the third largest retailer in the world, the largest food and drinks producer, and the top 3 supermarkets in UK are currently our customers. Fantastic culture. We're such a diverse group that you never know who's coming from where. I guess it's all the countries in Europe. Do we miss any countries in Europe? I would love to have a chart to see if we're missing anyone, but we come from all sorts of backgrounds, all sorts of careers. South Africa, now. Our new colleagues, not so much.
Our well-being managers from South Africa.
There you go. Yes, exactly, correct. I think he's the furthest away. Technical development, we
have a meat hygiene inspector from Australia.
Hey, even further. Fantastic. Technical development, we're always learning. I'm always learning myself, and we're always sharing with our colleagues, and we're developing courses and trainings. We have weekly updates. We share communications through our Cascade team, so everyone is always up to date with the latest guidance. And obviously, great managers.
Did you put that one in there?
Yes, and I left it for the end before I leave Hannah to speak. So I'll introduce Hannah, and I'll let her talk about her experience at Evelyn Jones.
Yeah, so hi everyone, I'm Hannah. I'm working as an export vet for Evelyn Jones, and I've been with the company for about 6 months now. I'm based in the northwest of England, and I'm based at one abattoir. I mainly export fresh pig meat in the form of whole carcasses and cuts. And I export to countries within the European Union, so Ireland, France, Belgium, Germany, yeah, a variety of countries. So I joined Evelyn Jones because I reached a stage in my career where I was looking to diversify from clinical practice. At the time, I did some research into alternative careers for vets. And I thought about working for or on behalf of the government, and that's how I discovered Evelyn Jones. I promptly contacted them. I went through, a few interviews and things like that. And then I got on board with the training, which was online and then practical, and then I started the job. So the job's going really well for me. I'm now very familiar with the abattoir I work and how they run their export division. And I know how to kind of help them manage their exports on a daily basis so that everything runs really smoothly. I started in January, which was just after Brexit. So at the time, there was a lot of pressure on export vets to meet all the export requirements and know how to certify everything correctly and be up to date with the notes for guidance. But just with time and experience, that's all kind of become more efficient and everything runs more smoothly, I would say now. I really enjoy the job. I think it's a very important and responsible job. I think it's really important to be part of the farm to fork chain, and I want to maintain the reputation of the UK in terms of trade and veterinary practice. The job also suits me just because I like to be an organised person, so the administrative aspect of the job, so all the certifying I do on a daily basis, it just kind of suits how I like to work. And I would definitely recommend Evelyn Jones as an employer. I'm really grateful to them actually for providing me with an opportunity to work as a vet beyond clinical practice. It's been a very supportive company so far. I have a team leader, and she's always updating me with the latest guidelines from APHA, and if I have any technical questions, she's always available. I've had really good experience with our head office, so if I have any questions or concerns about my rota or holiday, or if I need new equipment, it's always attended to, and everyone is so nice. So yes, I would definitely recommend Evelyn Jones if you are a vet looking for work outside of clinical practice and you have an interest in veterinary public health. It's a great job and I can't recommend it enough, really.
Brilliant. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you. Hannah joined us in January when probably most of you are aware, we didn't know if Brexit was going to happen or not up until the 22nd of December. We were prepared for the worst case scenario. All the systems from our point of view were up and running, but the exporters were reluctant to prepare in advance. So when our new colleagues joined in January, from an exporter point of view, it took them a while to get adjusted to the system. They had never used exporting vets. They didn't know why a truck that up until the 31st of December was leaving with the products without any bother. Now we have these people wearing these bright high-vis jackets, checking our temperatures and putting their stamp and signature on a document. It was a learning curve for them, but I think we had the patience and we had the skills and the knowledge to demonstrate why we're there. It's still a continuous question that I see every day, why we need a document with a stamp and a signature to accompany a product that has already been moving for years now. And we just, have to take our time and explain to each exporter, this is why we went to 6 years of a veterinary degree, and this is the legislation, this is how you read it, this is how you interpret it, these are live documents, and we ourselves are learning all the time, and the exporters do understand, but it's been we're in the 7th month of learning curve, and Hannah, when she joined in January, full throttle. Excellent job.
In the deep end.
You raise a really good point, Joanna, because we are a big company. We work with all these big brands, but it's been a huge learning curve on the European Union exports for them and for us. And although we're a big company, we organise ourselves into reasonably small teams, and therefore we're constantly learning and sharing knowledge and our experiences with each other within the team, and then wider across the business. So we have a culture of helping each other out, sharing our learning, sharing our knowledge, and helping each other. I think that's really important, that we are able to maintain that culture and really value that culture, which you would usually get in a very small practice, not in a big organization such as ours. So that's something very special that I'm really keen that we keep. And therefore it provides everyone with opportunities to learn and just to be the best that they can be to our customers as well as themselves and our team members.
Working on remote, sometimes Hannah might be on a site with the customer on her own, or maybe with a CSO. You might think that there's no team supporting you around, but our links, the way that our team managers are handling things, the diversity of the group and the experience, I think I would never feel alone, because we are so connected with each other, and the team leaders themselves are exporting vets, so they know exactly what you're experiencing and exactly which information they need to provide and what type of resources you need, and that makes a difference to be managed by another person doing exactly the same job as you are.
Yeah.
If I may, I would say another point of difference that we can offer is we have big customers where if you're minded to say, actually, I just want to work in a one location for set hours, we can accommodate that. If you're interested in traveling around and working in different locations from day to day, meeting different people in different workplaces, we can accommodate that. If you want to work a load of overtime, we can accommodate that. If you want to work flexibly or you want to work part-time, we can accommodate that. And that's something that we can do because of our size and scale and the number of customers that we have, that a lot of other organizations can't do. They can't guarantee you the work that we can, and the work will be very interesting, and there'll be a lot of variety in it if that's what you want.
Not to give out too much information, but I was a bit nosy and I was looking at the attendees list here, and we do have a couple of our colleagues who are already working with us. One of them, I believe, returned from maternity, and we're adjusting the schedule around her, and another one who is a casual, whose schedule is adjusted around his son's schedule as well. So we are flexible, and we are your well-being and is our best interest, and especially when it comes to families. And if our colleagues have joined the call, I think they would confirm that as well. But that's just me being nosy looking at the names.
And with the hers and hims, we do have a really nice balance of males and females working for us as well. So and I think that's really healthy, along with the diversity that we have in terms of nationalities. If you want some cultural experience, you want to learn about other cultures, develop friends from other countries, and maybe you can learn about their culture and go and visit them or whatever. It's a great place to work. And there's Joanna, the boss, there on the picture.
Believe it or not, the tiny pink dot, the yes, leading the project. In the picture we've got Patrick, who is from Slovakia, Mario, who's from Spain, and Juan as well from Spain. We've got Duncan, obviously Duncan is very much English, Andrei, who is also Romanian, and Georgios, who is Greek. So quite a big diversity between the 7 people in the picture, more than 100 years of experience, which says a lot, and plenty of knowledge that we are passing on to our colleagues, and we're always learning together. This picture was taken a couple of weeks ago, running a trial for one of the major retailers in UK, trialing the movement of goods to Northern Ireland at the request of DEFRA, and the results of that trial were presented to DEFRA, and they're moving the discussions within the government in regards to the difficulties that the Northern Ireland Protocol is posing. But that's a very political discussion, just to put the picture. So come work with us, and join the big and diverse team here that we have at Evelyn Jones. If anyone has any questions now, you can raise your hand and you can unmute yourself. Oh, Patrice was quite quick. Patrice? Let's see. Sarah, am I doing this right? Do I need to unmute anyone, or can it be done automatically?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, excellent.
Okay. Hi, hello. I'm Beatrice. I'm from Italy. So thank you for the presentation. I have just a few questions. The first one is about the English test. Is it possible to get the test after we start working, or is it necessary before applying for the job?
In order to be able to register with the Royal College and to start working, one of the requirements to register with Royal College is the IELTS 7 diploma.
Oh, because I'm already registered for the.
Then the IELTS 7 is no need. So just to be clear, it doesn't apply retrospectively to those who are already members of Royal College.
I'm already a member.
Lucky us, we carry on working. No,
okay.
So in your case, it would not be a requirement. It would just be a matter of getting in touch with our recruitment, and we will follow up with emails, and we will be contacting you after this presentation, each one individually.
Okay.
And the process is quite simple and streamlined.
Okay, yes, because I applied a couple of days ago, but yeah, so I wanted to know how long does it take to receive a feedback or something.
I'll follow it up right now. It should be tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, don't worry. I mean, I just wanted to know how long. Yeah, no hurry. Just yeah. Okay. Well, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you so much. Right, trying to look at the list. Any other hands raised? Any other questions? If you're microphone shy and or maybe your microphone is not working, you also have the chat bar where we can chat there, or the question section where you can post your question. I'm keeping a close eye on all of them.
We have one question.
Thank you, Sarah. Hello, Basit. I hope I'm saying your name right. If I'm not, looking forward to meeting you so I can learn to say it correctly. I am from Turkey. I want to work as OV in the UK. I took the IELTS exam but got a 4 in the writing section. Now I'm preparing for the exam again. I will take the exam again on July 14th. Isn't the English requirement 5 points for now, provided that you get 7 points within 12 months? So for Turkey, the level 5 English that you're mentioning is for our abattoir positions as official veterinarians in the FSA contract, and you would need a minimum of 5 on all levels. Once you achieve that, you are correct. That is a temporary provision, and you get, after 12 months, the opportunity to achieve the IELTS level 7 and progress to the export position as well, if that's what you'd be interested in. Good luck on your next exam, though. I'm looking forward to having you here. I hope I've answered you. You're welcome. Sami, you have your hand raised?
now?
Yes,
You
we
listen
can
to
hear
me?
you. Yes, we can hear you. Hello.
You listen to me carefully? I ask
Yeah, we
about
can hear you.
the salary. I ask about the salary. You not explain this point. I ask about the salary.
Sorry, I just heard you about the salary.
Yes, I ask about the
Charles,
salary.
would you like to take that?
Mm.
Charles, you are muted.
You don't listen to me. I ask about the exact salary of this position.
Yes, we've heard you, but for yes,
Thank
Charles,
you.
there you go. Sorry.
I was muted by the organizer. Just come back on a couple of other points. Just to clarify, if you're already resident in the UK and a member of the Royal College, you don't need a visa. You don't need to take any English tests at all. It's really simple and quick to come and join us. If you are living in the European Union and you come from one of the EAV accredited schools and you're not a member of the Royal College yet, we can get you in through the level 5. We'll provide English tuition to you to get you up to that level standard with a level 7 standard within 12 months and help you get through. So there's a great opportunity for you to work with us then. You won't be able to do export, you'll just be able to do the abattoir OVs, but that's an extremely rewarding career route with us. And then once you get through your level 7, then you're free as a bird and you can do anything with us. With the salary, I mean, the salary offering is different between the plant and the abattoir vets and the export vets. I'd rather not on this call talk about what the salary is because there's various things we can do on salary and benefits and it'll take quite a while to explain. However, what I suggest we do is we'll contact you afterwards. We'd like to contact all of you afterwards, and then we can explain and we can discuss your specific circumstances and situation, whether you need to get through a visa, etc., whether you want to work as part-time or full-time, because salaries differ depending on your circumstances and what you want to do, and also your level of experience, whether you've not had any experience with an export before, whether you have had experience in export before. All those things will considered will help us get you to the right salary. So our recruitment team will contact you over the next day, and then we can get in touch and talk about salaries and benefits, whether you need a car, whether you want to take a car allowance instead, and that kind of thing.
Thank you, Charles. So I hope that answers your question, Sammy. It's not that we don't want to answer, but it depends on everyone's situation. So we're happy to have this conversation afterwards with each one of them.
But we do very competitive salaries and very good benefits.
Absolutely, definitely. There is a question from Danielle. The IELTS exam is also a requirement to get the UK worker visa, right? I'm not familiar with the process. Maybe Charles, you're more familiar with the process for the worker visas.
Yeah, if you're living overseas and you need to register with the Royal College over here, the visa English requirements is slightly lower than level 5. I think it's level 4.2 across all subjects, or it might be on an average. But if you're able to do the level 5 for the Royal College that will enable temporary registration to get you into an abattoir, then you will have the English standards to get the skilled work visa. So the Royal College level is slightly higher than the visas. So as long as you can get through the Royal College one, the level 5 if you're going to plant, level 7 if you're going to export, then you should be fine with your visa. And we'll help you with your visa as well. We'll take you through that process and support you through that.
There's one more question, and then I'll give opportunity to speak to our next colleague. There's a question in the chat. Hello, I am Monica. I'm already in UK. I am from India and I was veterinarian there. I applied for driving license, but it has been taken so long. What I have to do? As I said earlier, we've had colleagues that have joined without the driving license, or they were in the process of finalizing it, and we can find a solution using public transportation, definitely. So get in touch with our recruitment team afterwards, and we can look at solutions definitely for you. There, Ikena, you have your hand raised.
Good evening. Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I wanted to find out if does this position also include African veterinarians, especially like Nigerian vets also possible.
I think Nigerian vets would be eligible for the meat hygiene inspector role,
Okay.
and you would probably need to start there, and then you would need to think about if you want to become registered with the Royal College, you'd have to go through the statutory exam route.
Okay.
So I would suggest if you're interested in becoming a meat hygiene inspector, that's certainly something that we can help with. But then you will probably need to be in that position for a year or so before you start considering taking the statutory exam with the Royal College.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. That's good.
But we've had a meat hygiene inspector join us who's a vet from Ghana this morning, and we've got another load of, I think, Nigerian vets and Ghanaian vets joining us over the coming weeks. So there's certainly opportunities.
Okay. Oh, that was great. Thank you so much. I'm actually applying though. I'm sitting for the exams now. The online course, I'm actually on it now.
Okay. Well, the very best of luck.
Excellent. Good luck. Fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you.
There's another question in the chat bar. Hello, I am Salih. I live in Turkey. I am studying at Istanbul Faculty of Veterinary Medicine. I will graduate in a year. How soon after I pass the IELTS exam and get my diploma can I apply? As soon as you have your IELTS exam, you can apply even before. You can go through the recruitment process with us. We can support you with the preparations. As soon as you have your IELTS exam, you can get on a plane and join us. Well, provided that everything is so it just depends on having the exam, but you can start the process with us even beforehand, and obviously get your diploma, and best of luck with your final year. Monica asked if we can send the email ID. So after the webinar tonight, our recruitment team will be contacting each one of you because you all left your email addresses when you registered for the webinar. If you know that the email address that you haven't sent, that you've registered with is not the correct one, I'll put in the chat here the email address for our recruitment team, and you can contact them directly. There is a question in the chat bar. Hello, I'm a new veterinary graduate from India. Is it necessary to register with the Royal College for the meat hygiene inspector position? Nope. For the position of meat hygiene inspector, it's not a requirement to be registered with the Royal College. Charles, however, I don't know about our colleagues joining from India, what the requirement is.
I welcomed a vet from India about 3 weeks ago into the business, joining us as a meat hygiene inspector. So, it'd be wonderful to have some more Indian vets in the business. With your degree at the moment probably wouldn't be recognised by the Royal College, as you say. So therefore, that again would be the statutory exam route with the Royal College, if that's something, a route that you wanted to take. People do that. It's a pretty difficult exam, but it's certainly an option that's available for you. But in the meantime, the meat hygiene inspector role is something that the other Indian vets that we have in the business have taken up. A brilliant role, really. Well, it's quite hard work, but it's a very rewarding role.
Indeed. I don't see any new questions, any new hands raised. Sarah, can you help me with posting in the chat the email address for our recruitment?
Yes.
It's actually recruitment at ENJ, so it's quite easy. You can also take the share screen.
Recruitment.
I'm just gonna jump here and say, Abita, welcome and good luck on your training next week. Hope that everything goes well with you. Thank you, Sarah. Right, am I missing anyone? Any other questions? Anyone would like to ask us anything? Sami, your hand is still raised. Is it from the last time, or do you want to ask us a new question? No, I'm guessing it's the old hand from last time. Well, if nobody has any other questions for us, our recruitment team is available to take any questions. They will follow up after this meeting with contacting each one of you at the email addresses that you've provided. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in Evelyn Jones.
Thank you everyone for your time tonight.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye.